All right, good morning, personal finance students. It is Thursday, April 16th, 2020, and this is your e-learning lesson for today. Before we start, a couple announcements. First, a lot of you guys have been sending me in late grades. That's great, that's amazing. Just to give you guys a heads up, I will not enter those late grades until this coming Monday, April 20th. So there is no e-learning this coming Monday, April 20th. It's scheduled for teacher planning and grading day. So April 20th, I'm going to put in all of the late grades you guys have been sending me. So those of you guys that have zeros right now, you'll see your grades update this coming Monday. Then the following Monday, April 27th, I will do another round of the assignments that we've been turning in last week and this week for regular points, regular assignments. So about every 2 weeks, I will grade, and then the week I'm not grading, I'll do late work, stuff like that. So just to keep you guys kind of in the loop on that. Another side announcement, once again, if you didn't hear, you're off April 20th. I don't know what you're doing around 1:15 or 1:30 in the afternoon, hopefully not sleeping, but I will be a guest on the Dave Ramsey Show, 13 million listeners across America. Dave's going to be interviewing me, talking about some of the things that we have done in class, some of the things that you guys are taking that I'm teaching you, and you are doing on your own, like researching colleges and scholarships and opening up investment accounts, and I'm going to talk about all those things. I'm going to try to mention a couple of you guys by name, so I'll try to get a couple of you guys out there, as many as I can, via the 13 million listeners across America. It's a pretty cool thing. So I'm going to do my best to talk about you guys. That's why they're having me on, not to talk about me or anything like that. It is about you guys. So I hope you guys can tune in this coming Monday, April 20th, to the Dave Ramsey Show. If you have Spotify, he's on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio app. He's on YouTube, Dave Ramsey channel on YouTube. If you have a radio, 95.9, the Chicago station, on that. Or you can go to daveramsey.com and click on the show off his website. And you can watch, actually, instead of listening, you can watch the interview with video. You can watch it through Dave Ramsey's website. So I hope you guys tune in. It's a really cool opportunity, not just for me, because obviously I'm really, really passionate about this stuff, but I am going to be talking about you guys, because, the things that I'm teaching you don't really mean anything unless you actually take them and do stuff with them. So tune in this Monday. I will be talking to 13 million Americans on the radio on the Dave Ramsey Show. This is Grace. Grace is coming to say hi.
Hi.
Why do you look bewildered? Say hi to my students.
Hi, I'm wearing a gumball dress.
She's wearing a gumball dress. Let's see. We have all these costumes and stuff like that. So yeah, this is Grace. Okay, Grace, I'm gonna go do some teaching, all right? Sound good?
Okay, dear Daddy. Bye-bye, Steve.
Bye-bye, students.
Bye-bye, students. I hope you're about to say. Okay, so here's where we're at today. Okay, so you guys turned in, or are going to turn in by 9 o'clock, right about now. You guys are going to turn in your mutual funds that you've looked for and found. Now, I don't expect you guys to be know-it-all mutual fund masters or anything like that. Okay, we've only worked on this a couple of days. Hopefully you just have a general basic understanding. Yeah, I wouldn't expect you guys to be comfortable doing your own investments right now or anything like that. So if the time or day comes and you guys are ready to do some things, let me give you a little bit of advice. Feel free to email me, and I would be happy to help you out. Get your account set up. I'm not touching any of your money or anything like that. I'll just walk you through how to do it, and then you make all the decisions. Or later on down the line, if you guys, let me share my screen with you guys. If you guys take a look at, let's go, I know I've showed this to you guys before. On Dave Ramsey's website, daveramsey.com, he's got these things called SmartVestor Pros, okay? SmartVestor Pros are people like me that will work with you and teach you and walk you through everything so you have an understanding of the process all the way through. These are people endorsed by Dave Ramsey that have to invest how we're teaching you, how I'm teaching you, large cap, mid cap, small cap, international mutual funds, so good growth stock mutual funds, and they have to take all accounts big and small. Now, people out there that are not on this list, not all of them have a heart of a teacher. Not all of them will take all accounts, both big and small. Not all of them will teach you to invest wisely like we are teaching in this class. So this is a good outlet. If you're not going to use me, this is a great outlet to find somebody. It will cost you, obviously, but it's obviously worth it for you. They're not going to rip you off or anything like that. It's very reasonable. This is where I would go if I were you when you're ready to start doing some investing and work with an investment professional. There is no shame in that. Okay, that being said, go ahead and take your books out and open them to the next section. I don't have the page off the top of my head, I apologize, that talks about qualified plans, okay? Qualified plans. It'll be section 2.3, qualified plans. All right, so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna watch this video together, well, you and me, and I'm gonna stop at certain points because it's gonna get a little confusing today, okay? So I need you guys to lock in. I need you guys to focus, take good notes. If you have a sheet of notebook paper or something like that to bring as well on the side, I'm gonna have you jot some things down that are not in your book to help you kind of keep some things straight. Sometimes visualization it makes this a whole lot easier. Now let me just fry your brain before we even start talking. We're gonna talk today about qualified plans. These are types of investing accounts that you can open up that get special tax privileges. And let me just show you where we're going, why it's gonna fry your brain. We're gonna talk about qualified plans versus non-qualified plans. We're gonna talk about 401ks, 403bs, Roth IRAs, and IRAs. We're going to talk about pre-tax accounts versus after-tax investment accounts. It's going to be a little confusing, so I need you to structure things a little bit outside your book notes that are going to help you visualize and understand some of these topics a little bit better. So a sheet of paper off to the side, or if you've got a notebook or something like that, to take some extra notes along with these things. So I'm gonna start the video. And so go ahead and we're going to do our normal notes, and when we need to stop, we will stop. Not a bad idea. Yes.
I strongly suggest using a broker until you've invested for many, many years. Not because a broker has some kind of magic insight, but you're looking for a broker with the heart of a teacher. And that's someone who can teach you why you need to look at different types of investments and why you might want to look at this mutual fund versus that mutual fund. Your investing, especially in your 20s, is all about learning about the investments as you go along as much as it is actually making the investment.
The rule of 72 is a way to determine how long an investment will take to double if it has a fixed rate of return. For example, if you had $100 invested at 10%, you would divide 72 by the interest rate, 10%, which equals 7.2. So it would take approximately 7.2 years to double your money, your original investment. So in 7.2 years, that $100 investment would now be $200. And I know what you're saying. 7 years to double $100? Now, let's play around with the numbers. Remember Ben and Arthur? Ben invested $16,000 over 8 years. His money will double in 7 years to $32,000 without working a day. So if he lets it double again, it will be worth $64,000 before he's 34 years old. Now, let's play around with the interest rate. A standard savings account at your local bank averages 1%. So if you took the same Ben and Arthur story, it would take Ben 72 years to double his initial investment of $16,000. That can't be right. Well, it is. Interest rate is a powerful part of the equation. Certificates of deposit at your local bank earn about 3%. Ben would take 24 years to double up with that investment. That's why finding a strong mutual fund with a long track record of high interest returns is the best way to invest long term. Go to foundationsu.com to test out the investing calculator and see what a small investment now could do for you in 50 years. It will blow your mind. You learned in an earlier lesson how.
Okay, I'm gonna pause that for a minute, and I'm gonna go full screen to me. I'm gonna go full screen to me and just show you with numbers really quick on your screen. You don't have to write this down. Just kind of tune in. This is like if you take another investing course in college. This is like week 1, week 2 kind of stuff. There is an investment philosophy that Chris just talked about called the Rule of 72. Now, the Rule of 72 is a mathematical principle that will either tell you how long it will take for your money to double, or what interest rate you would need to earn for your money to double, okay? And let me show you the 2 different scenarios how I would use this. Number 1, I don't know why it's 72. It's one of those weird little mathematical things, and I don't know the math behind it. I've never been nerdy enough to try to figure out the math behind it. I'm not a math teacher, but for some reason, some mathematical reason beyond me, the number 72, it works. I don't know why it's not 50, 42, 100. It's 72. Okay. Now here's the basics behind it. If you take 72 divided by something, this will tell you how long it's going to take any dollar amount to double. Okay. You just need to kind of have a ballpark on either the interest rate that your investment is going to earn, or if you're trying to figure out how many years you would like your money to double. Okay. So let's try it out. Let's say that I invest in some investment that I know the interest rate that I'm going to earn. Let's say it's just a flat 10%. Okay. So if I take 72 and I know the interest rate and I go 72 divided by 10, that's going to give me 7.2. Okay, 72 divided by 10 gives me 7.2. What that tells me is it will take me 7.2 years to take any dollar amount of investment with a 10% rate of return to double. So that is $1 turning into $2. That is $1 million turning into $2 million. That is $100 million turning into $200 million. The dollar amount is relevant. It works with any dollar amount. And it kind of gives you an approximation that your money will double if you know the interest rate. 72 divided by something, whatever that answer is, that tells you how long it's going to take your money to double if you know the interest rate. Now let's just say that you don't know the interest rate, but you want to figure out the interest rate. And let's say you want to figure out, man, how long, like, what if you know a time frame and you're like, man, I want to double my money in 10 years. Okay. Same thing, we just changed the wording here. 72 divided by, if you know the years. Let's say like, hey, I want my money to double in 10 years. Okay. It's still 72 divided by the thing that you know, 10 years, is going to give you the same thing, 7.2. Now what this tells you is you're going to need to earn 7.2% interest on the investment, theoretically, for your money to double in 10 years. Okay, that means you need to find an investment. If your goal is to make your money double, you want to throw $1,000 somewhere and leave it and let it grow. For it to double in 10 years, you'd have to earn 7.2% interest on that investment. Okay, so that is the rule of 72. Just wanted to kind of show you that with some numbers. Let's go back to our notes. We'll let Chris roll.
How important it is to begin investing as soon as possible. The earlier you begin, the more money you will have when you reach retirement. You're ready to begin investing when you are out of debt, have your college education fully funded, and you've saved an emergency fund. Now, once you start earning an income, you'll need to invest 15% for retirement into a qualified plan.
Here we go.
A qualified plan is tax favored, which means it receives special tax treatment and allows you to save more money than fully taxable non-qualified plans.
Whoa. All right, let's stop. The big idea today is, it's at the top of your notes for today. Qualified plans. Okay, now that's just a fancy word. Let's tune in on this. What the heck is a qualified plan? Well, a qualified plan is any type of investing account that you open up that gets what Chris has on the screen, tax favored treatments. Okay, now here's where I want you to start drawing some stuff on a little separate sheet of paper. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. Let's go piercing all up in your grill. And here's what I want you to focus in on, and maybe draw this on a sheet of paper so you have something visually. When we're talking about investing accounts, okay, there's two main categories, and we can split one way or the other. We're just kind of categorizing them, okay? There's two big types of investing accounts, okay? So write this in on a sheet of paper so you can see this kind of flow visually. You've got non-retirement accounts, okay? Investing accounts where you're just trying to make a buck. All right, you're trying to buy some stocks and flip them really quick, or buy something and it's not for 40 years from now. You open up an investing account because you kind of like you do the stock market game in econ. When you guys do that typically that's done through what we call a brokerage account, where you just open up an investing account that lets you buy stocks, buy mutual funds. You're not worried about getting tax privileges or tax treatments and things like that. So that's one big type. Okay, put a 1 there. The other type, which is what we're talking about, long-term investing for 30 years from now, 40 years from now for some of you guys. These are retirement accounts. They're qualified plans is another way that we can word this. And this is it right here. This is the stuff, okay? There are some cool investment accounts that you can open up that get special tax privileges. Special tax privileges, meaning you can buy investments, and some of them that fit under this side, the qualified plans, your money grows tax-free. So that if you have $4, $5, $6, $8, $10 million at retirement, and if you do what I teach you starting now, you certainly will, the government cannot touch your money. It grew tax-free, but you have to have it in the right spot. You have to have it in one of these qualified plans. That's what we're talking about today, is we're building an investment portfolio for the future that allows us to keep as much of our money as we can and keeps the government away from taxing our money. If you open up a regular investment account, not for retirement, you're trying to buy and flip stocks, you have what's called a brokerage account. You will pay taxes on anything that doesn't have a shield, a coat, a protector over it like these do, okay? So I love you to get in these. I want you to get in a qualified plan. And so now that you kind of just have a little bit of foundation, we can either go brokerage account, which is not protected from taxes, so the government can touch that, or you can go this way with a qualified plan that gets special tax privileges. We're going to go this way. Let's learn about what's on this side of the equation.
And when it comes to individual retirement accounts, everyone with an earned income is eligible. You can invest in anything through your IRA, including single stocks, mutual funds, and bonds. Remember, IRA is not a type of investment at the bank. It is the tax treatment on virtually any type of investment.
Okay, so maybe somewhere else on that piece of paper, I want you to write qualified plans at the top, okay? Just to give you a little hierarchy, right? Qualified plans. And now we're gonna split the qualified plans two ways. Okay. Then once you have that, qualified plans, I want you to draw two branches going in different directions and write those two words. There are 4 big types of qualified plans that we're going to talk about today. There's more than 4. We're going to mention more than 4, but we're going to focus on 4 the most. Now, qualified plans are accounts that you can open up that get special tax privileges. There's 2 categories of qualified plans. They either fall under pre-tax or after tax, okay? Pre-tax or after tax. Now let's explain what these mean, okay? Pre-tax, an investment account that falls under this category, okay, lets you take money from your paycheck before the government touches it and taxes it. And it lets you take that money and buy investments with it. There's 2 types of pay, those of you guys that have jobs. There is gross pay. Gross pay is how much you should have made if the government did not tax your paycheck. So if you work 10 hours this week and you make $10 an hour, you should come home with $100. That's called your gross pay. You guys know that it doesn't work like that. You don't come home with your gross. You have to pay taxes on your paycheck. What you come home with, your paycheck, after taxes, what you actually get to deposit and spend and stuff like that, is called your net pay. It's what you get, what you net after taxes. Now, an investment account that falls under this category lets you take all 100 of those dollars that you earned at your job this week. It lets you take all $100 and buy investments with it. You see what's happening here? You're getting to take money that the government should have taken and collected for them for taxes, and you're getting to invest with that money. And you're getting to grow money with that money in your investments. And you're going to get to earn compound interest for the next 40 years with that money that the government should have collected and taken for taxes. You get to use it to invest. Okay, let me say that one more time. If you work 10 hours this week and you make $10 an hour, you should have brought home $100 if there was no government touching your money. A qualified plan that falls under this category lets you take pre-tax dollars, money the government has not touched yet. You get all $100 instead of like $80 or $70 after taxes. You get to keep all that money, buy investments with it, all of that money the government should have taken in taxes, and grow money with it over the next 40 years. That's a pre-tax qualified plan. It's pretty cool. There's also an after-tax qualified plan. After-tax qualified plan uses your net pay. What after the government has taxed your money, your paycheck, okay, once you get direct deposit or you get your paycheck from work, you pay taxes on that money. If you open up an investment account, a qualified plan under this category, it uses your net pay. It uses your after-tax dollars, okay? Taxes have already been paid on that money. So we'll take the same scenario. You work 10 hours this week, $10 an hour. You should have made $100. That's your gross pay, but you have to pay taxes on it. You most likely come home with something like $70 after taxes, $75 after taxes. You get to take your after-tax dollars on this side. Your taxes have already been paid, and you get to invest with it, okay? And all of the money on this side, if you open up an account on this category, grows tax-free. And when you retire or whatever, 50, 60 years from whatever, 40 years from now, that money is all yours. The government cannot touch it and tax it. Over on this side, 40 years from now, the government's never touched any of that money. Okay, you got to take money that the government should have gotten in taxes, and you got to grow money with it. That's pretty cool. But you'll have to pay taxes on this money 40 years from now when you start pulling it out at retirement to buy a house or cars or living expenses and stuff like that. Okay, see the difference. Pre-tax dollars get to take government money and grow it for 40, 50 years, earn compound interest on it, pay taxes later. This one, you get to take investment dollars. The taxes have already been paid. It's your paycheck money, and you get to grow money with it tax-free. Okay? Now, we're going to mention the next step is there's different types of accounts under this category. They have different names. What I want you to do is just jot these down on your sheet of paper, and we're going to talk more about them in a couple minutes. Okay? Okay, here we go. All right. Now there's 4 main types of qualified plans that we're going to talk about today. Now, so you have the visualization on what falls under what category. Go ahead and write these down on that little sheet of paper because it's going to get confusing. 401 this, 401 that, IRA, Roth, traditional, what? Let's go ahead and break this down. So go ahead and write these on the little flow chart that you're making. There's 3 that fall under this pre-tax category, and we're going to expand on these in just a minute. I just want you to see them, have them in front of your eyes before we talk about them in the video notes. 401k, 403b, and what's called a traditional IRA, individual retirement account or individual retirement arrangement. Okay? There's only one type of investment account that falls under this category, after-tax dollars. It's called a Roth IRA. Okay? Roth IRA. Go and write those down in your notes. And now these are going to start flying at you, and we're going to reference this sheet so we know pre-tax, after-tax, and we're going to talk about these so you can see where they lay out in your mind, and you have a visualization in front. Okay? So now let's go into our notes. Let's see what we're talking about here, and let's go on.
Like an employer retirement plan, traditional IRAs are pre-tax plans. You can deduct the money you put into your IRA from your taxes each year. Your money grows tax deferred, which means you pay taxes on the funds when you withdraw them in your retirement. The Roth IRA is an after-tax retirement plan that grows tax-free. The money you put into your Roth IRA is not tax deductible, but the money you withdraw from it in retirement is tax-free.
All right. Now let me pause real quick for Chris. And now let me give you the scope of everything here, okay? These are not investments, okay? Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, those are investments. Those are things you put your money in and buy shares in a company and Microsoft stock. Those are investments. These are accounts that you open up that you purchase your investments through. So you open up a Roth IRA account and you buy Microsoft stock, or you buy those mutual funds that we talked about yesterday through this account. You log in and then you buy your mutual funds through your Roth IRA account. You open up a 401k at your work and you buy your stocks, you buy your mutual funds through this account. These are just accounts. Fantasy football, let me hit home with some people right now, okay? This is your ESPN fantasy account. This is your Yahoo fantasy account. These are the accounts that you open up. You want a football player, you log into your fantasy football account and you go pick up that football player off the waiver wire, or you draft them, okay? That's all these are. These are not investments, okay? These are accounts that you open up that you purchase your stocks through. You purchase your mutual funds through. You log into this and you buy your mutual funds, okay? These are not mutual funds. These are not investments. These are accounts that you open up that you buy your investments through. Little clarity right there, okay? Out of these, let me just give you a little preface. Draw a little pretty heart around the Roth IRA, okay? I love Roth IRAs. This is what I have. This is what I started at 22, 23 years old with my first paycheck out of college. I opened up a Roth IRA and started buying my mutual funds through a Roth IRA. Okay, 9 times out of 10, this is the Roth is the best type of retirement account you can open up. Here's why. Okay, that's why I want you to draw a heart around this. Is you pay taxes on your money right now. You go and you get your paychecks and you buy your investments, and you are paying taxes on your income on 2020 tax rates, the year 2021 tax rates. If you do it 2 years from now, the year 2022 tax rates, okay? You pay lower taxes now, okay? Over here, you're holding off on paying taxes. And then 30 years from now, when you start touching this money for retirement and buying yourself cars and houses and stuff like that and traveling, you're gonna pay whatever the government has it for tax rates in the year 2050. What do you think is going to be the tax rates 30 years from now? Do you think the government's going to have higher taxes or lower taxes 30 years from now? Probably higher taxes, okay? And you're going to be in a higher tax bracket as well later on in life because you're going to be promoted at jobs and things like that. So your taxes are going to be higher 30 years from now. So I'd rather pay taxes on my money now when the tax rates are lower in present times and things like that. In 30 years from now, when I retire, I don't care what the tax rate is. This money is all mine, and the government cannot touch a single penny of it. And I don't care if the taxes are stupid, astronomical, 80%, this is all me. And the government cannot touch a penny of it. That lets your money grow tax-free. The Roth is an amazing, amazing type of retirement account. And the benefits of this far outweigh this. Now, that being said, you can have both. Okay, so if you got some money to invest, you can put some money over here. And if you still got more money to invest, you can put some money over here in one of these too. It's not pick one or the other. It's just this is where your first investment dollar should go. And then if you have more money to invest and this is maxed out, we'll talk about that in a minute, then yeah, it's totally cool to have both. Open up one of these two and throw some money over here. But your first investment dollars, 9 times out of 10, should go and flow through a Roth IRA. Why? Because it grows tax-free, and anything that you can get tax-free is absolutely amazing. Take advantage of that, because 30 years from now, the taxes will be higher. So I want to get all my taxes out of the way now and not 30 years from now when the taxes are higher. This is an amazing type of account to open up. I heart the Roth IRA. Okay, love it. This is what my chemistry teacher taught me one day in high school. We didn't learn any chemistry that day. And he goes, open up this up as soon as you can, because before the government wakes up and takes it away, because this is such an amazing type of thing. Tax-free growth. Where do we get tax-free growth? The government's all about tax, tax, tax. And I'll never forget that lesson, 18 years ago in high school. And we didn't learn any chemistry. And he's like, remember this, guys. As soon as you can open up a Roth, open it up. And I'm telling you it now. As soon as you can open up a Roth IRA, open it up. If you have a job right now, you can open up a Roth IRA. As long as you pay taxes and get a paycheck. Okay, so this is for anybody that has an earned income. So if you get a paycheck, you could start opening up a Roth IRA right now. Okay, if you have one of those weird jobs where they pay you cash under the table, little league umpire, something like that, you can't open up a Roth until you pay taxes on that. So if you get a paycheck, you can start a Roth right now. Holy compound interest. Let's learn a little bit more. It's still going to be a little confusing. Let's walk you through some of these things. Talk to me, Chris Hogan.
The Roth IRA has more choices than a traditional IRA and has tons of flexibility. You can make tax-free and penalty-free withdrawals at any time equal to the amount of money you've put into your Roth IRA. After the emergency fund is depleted, you now would have a fallback. Something to remember. There are limits based on the total household income to the annual contribution amount for a Roth IRA. These amounts can change based on inflation. Go to foundationsu.com to check out the current contribution phase-out limits.
So here we go. Just real quick. You don't have to worry about this right now, but just to give you some idea, if you make over $120,000 a year, you're not eligible to straight up contribute to a Roth IRA. Okay. These have no income limit. So there are CEOs at Microsoft that have 401ks and they make millions of dollars a year. Okay. This one, if you make over $120,000 a year, you're not eligible to put the money in directly. However, pass this along to some of your parents. There is a way that your parents, if they make more than 120 a year, can have a Roth. It's called a backdoor Roth IRA. They would need their accountant to show them how to do that. There's an accounting thing where you can open up a regular IRA and then move the money over here into a Roth and pay the taxes on it and stuff like that. It's called a backdoor Roth. I'm not an accountant, so I don't really know all the accounting principles of that, but if your parents want to do a Roth and you're telling them about it and they make more than $120 a year, that is how they do it. Tell them to talk to their accountant about doing a backdoor Roth IRA.
Now, if you leave a job and have money saved in your employer's retirement plan, always roll that money into an IRA using a direct rollover, which allows you to avoid taxes and penalties. Annuities are a savings account sold by an insurance company.
Okay, let's pause right there for just a minute. Okay, this is a new type of investment, and I'm going to come back to before we talk about annuities. Let me talk about these one more time, give you a little clarity on this. Let me get Chris off the screen, and let me circle. I'm going to circle these two right here, 401 and 403. Okay. These are only offered through your employer. Okay. Let me tell you how these came about. My dad, or I'm sorry, not my dad, my grandpa, who was passed, my grandpa for like 40 years worked for this company called Illinois Bell. Okay. Illinois Bell, the phone company. And you know, 50, 60, 70 years ago, it was very common that people worked for the same company for 20, 30 years of their life. And they dedicated their entire working life to one company. That's just how things were 50, 60 years ago. And 50, 60 years ago, a lot of companies offered employees what's known as pensions. Pensions work like this. Pensions, my grandpa worked for Illinois Bell, and pensions mean if he put in 30, 35, 40 years or whatever at Illinois Bell, when he retired, Illinois Bell would give him a pension at retirement, meaning Illinois Bell would give my grandpa, I don't know, $35,000 a year every year until death to you know, for his contributions to the company. It's called a pension. Now, 30-ish years ago, businesses started to wake up and go, dude, this is getting really expensive. Okay. Paying these pensions to people is costing us a lot of money that we can be using for profits and stuff like that. And so companies, you know, started to phase out the traditional pension where, you know, Microsoft would pay people, you know, $40,000, $50,000 a year every year until death at retirement. It gets really expensive. If you have thousands of employees like Microsoft does, man, that's money they could be putting in their pocket for profits. So slowly they started to phase out pensions and they started to phase in self-directed retirement accounts that are kind of set up through the company where Microsoft isn't paying you $40,000, $50,000 a year. They're just setting you up with these qualified plans where you can fund your own retirement. Okay. And so your parents, a lot of your parents probably have, based off of their employer, where they work, their careers, they probably get offered 401ks and 403bs. Okay. Now, let me tell you where this term comes from, because it's kind of confusing. 401k, blah, 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 blah. Now, if this is my daughter's drawing book. Let's pretend that this right here was the IRS tax code. Okay. And it is hundreds, thousands of pages. I don't even know, page after page after page after page. And somewhere in the IRS tax code, there is some sections on how these cool qualified plans can or cannot be taxed. And they wrote the tax code. And somewhere in there, there was this US senator Senator William Roth, that said, hey, let's give Americans this amazing opportunity to create their own investment account where it grows tax-free. And Senator William Roth wrote up the tax code for the Roth IRA. And somewhere in the tax code, there is a section, pages about the Roth IRA, how the government can or cannot touch and tax that money. And then you flip a couple more pages in the IRS tax code, and you find section 401, subsection K. Find 401, subsection K, and there is a paragraphs, pages about this type of retirement account and how the government, allows you to take pre-tax dollars and they'll tax you at retirement when you start taking the money out. There's all the sections on there. Now, then you go down a couple sections further in the IRS tax code, maybe the next page, the next couple pages, and find section 403 over here, subsection B. And there's going to be blurbs and paragraphs or pages on how the 403B can be, implemented and taxed and things like that. So the numbers are confusing. Hopefully that clarified a little bit. You don't have to be a master of all this, but it just means, oh, this is the IRS tax code. If I had the big book, I'd find section 401, subsection K, boom, there's all the information about how the IRS can tax or not tax the money. Go a little bit further, find section 403, subsection B, and you flip, and find, oh, there's all the information there. That's all the 401k and a 403B is, okay? Now let's talk about, we're gonna transition briefly to annuities. Let's go to Chris. Actually, hold on, let me skip this for just a second.
Real estate is typically held for a while. See, beforehand, you want to make sure that you're investing 15% of your income.
All right, we'll go back a little bit. Okay, let's
Now,
talk
fixed annuities.
we'll talk about
Go
annuities.
to foundationsU.com to check out the current contribution phase-out limits. Now, if you leave a job and have money saved in your employer's retirement plan, always roll that money into an IRA using a direct rollover, which allows you to avoid taxes and penalties. Annuities are a savings account sold by an insurance company.
All right, here we go. Let's pause this. Let me go full screen. Go write that in your notes. And this is another type of investment. This will fall under stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs. Here's another type of investment. It's called an annuity. All right. Now, for the most part, annuities are hot garbage. They sound super fancy. And if you get put into a room with somebody and they try to sell you an annuity and you don't really know about these, like I'm telling you that they're hot garbage for the most part, they're going to sound pretty cool. They're going to sound like, wow, that's something I want to put my money in. It's far down the list, okay, of investments. It has a place if you get to it, but if somebody tries to sell you an annuity, and remember I'm telling you this, they're hot garbage. Okay, I bet a salesperson can sell all your parents on annuities that they're great investments. They're not, unless check this off, and check this off. Then you might be able to find an annuity that's right for you. But just note, anytime you hear the word annuity, red flag. I need to do this, and this first, and then I might be able to do an annuity. There's two types. Let's learn about them.
It's designed to provide payments to the holder at specified intervals, usually after retirement. Annuities are tax deferred, which means that you pay taxes on the money in an annuity when you take it out. Fixed annuities have a low interest rate of around 5%.
All right, let's stop. All right, let's check this out. There's two types of annuities, fixed and variable, okay? Now, here's what I really need you to get. One of these is okay. One of these is hot garbage. Fixed annuities are hot garbage, okay? Insurance companies, as another way to make money, they're not able to legally sell you like mutual funds and stocks and stuff like that. So they found another way to make some money, and insurance companies sell annuities. A fixed annuity works like this. It's a savings account with an insurance company with a fixed rate of return, typically around 5%. Now you should know right away, 5% is hot garbage. 5% does not even keep up with taxes or inflation. You need to make 6%, remember, on your money at least just to break even. But they get a lot of dumb Americans in the room and they go, hey, check out this fixed annuity. We guarantee, even in coronavirus 2020 or the next great recession, we guarantee no matter what, even if the sky is falling, you'll make 5% on your money. And to a lot of dumb Americans, they're like, wow, that's low risk. That sounds like, wow, let's do it. Sounds like a no-brainer. 5% sucks. Okay, 5% is hot garbage. If anybody tries to sell you a fixed annuity, slap them in the face, walk out. No, don't waste your breath. Don't waste listening. Stay away. There's a second type that's not so bad called a variable annuity. Let's talk about it.
They have high fees as well and are a bad investment option. Variable annuities are mutual funds sheltered by the annuity, which allows the mutual fund to grow tax deferred. There are many more details.
So let me talk about this, okay? Variable annuities are not so bad. Granted, you're checking off this, and then you have a decision to make, okay? So let me kind of show you. Sorry, I'm writing some things. All right, so let me get Chris off the screen really quick, and let's talk about variable annuities. They might have a spot in your investment portfolio one day. Not going to be anytime soon, okay? First, if your Roth IRA is maxed out, check it off that you're doing as good as you can do there. You can put $6,000 a year. We'll learn about that in a little bit. Then you can go over to your 401k or 403b. We'll talk about who has that, who has that. And if you've maxed this out as well, and you still have money to invest in, by the way, $6,000 a year here, $19,000 a year max here. So we're talking about some serious money for some of you guys. If you have more than $25,000 a year to invest, you're killing it. You're doing really good. Now let's go down to number 3. If you've maxed out your Roth and you've maxed out your 401k for the year and you still have money to invest, you have a decision to make, okay? The next best thing to put your money into is real estate. Okay, now I know some of your families already have real estate. Real estate is a very, very good, amazing investment, okay? However, this is where a personal decision comes into play. Some people get scared about real estate, okay? Meaning they don't wanna buy another apartment to rent out and worry about people calling them up saying the dishwasher broke, you need to fix it. The furnace is out, you need to fix it. The roof is leaking, come fix it. Or people aren't paying their rent and you got to threaten them and threaten to kick them out. There's a lot of hassles that come with real estate. And so real estate turns a lot of people away. If that is you one day, and you're like, wow, yeah, I don't want the headaches of dealing with tenants and everything break-in and stuff like that, then if you've checked off this and maxed it out for the year, checked off that and maxed it out for the year, you still have money to invest and real estate turns you off. The variable annuity would be your next best place to put your money, okay? And the variable annuity works like this. It lets you buy mutual funds through the protection of an annuity. It lets you buy those investments and grow them tax-free. However, you pay a fee to have the annuity, and you pay a fee to buy the mutual funds. That's why it's farther down on the list. And for a lot of you guys to get here and max that out, and then get here and max that out every year, and then to get to here, you got to be doing some good things with your money. So you'll have to make a decision one day is when I max this out, and I still got money to invest this year. Do I start saving for a condo to rent out? Do I start saving for a townhouse to rent out? Or am I turned off by real estate and I don't want the messiness with real estate, even though it's a really, really, really good investment? Then a variable annuity might have a place in your investment portfolio, but it's certainly down the list. After this is done and this is done, then you have a decision to make, either this or this, okay? I wouldn't worry too much about that right now because a lot of you guys, or none of you guys, I think, are in that position to max out a Roth, do a 401k because you probably don't have one at your job yet, and then make a decision. I'm an 18-year-old. Do I buy real estate? Do I buy a variable annuity? It's a little bit down the line, but maybe share that information with your parents, okay? Here's where we're at. This is a lot today. And there is, let's take a look. There is more than half
about qualified plan.
more than half the video notes to go. I think this is a great place to wrap it up for today, okay? Should you have questions, and you might have questions, we are going to talk more tomorrow through Dave and Chris about who can get a 401k, who can get a 403b, how that all works and stuff like that. We're going to sharpen that up a little bit tomorrow. I don't want to overload you. I don't want to fry your brain. Let's just call it a wrap today, and let's just kind of lay the foundation of, okay, there are qualified plans out there, okay, that you can invest in. There's either qualified plans that are investing for retirement, or there's just straight up, hey, fair game, just, hey, I want to buy stocks and stuff like that. Brokerage accounts, non-qualified plans. We're focusing on this because this is the smarter way to invest, is to get some of these tax privileges. So we talked today about qualified plans. There's two big categories: qualified plans that fall under pre-tax. Let me go Big Pearson here. Qualified plans that fall under pre-tax, and qualified plans one qualified plan that falls under after-tax dollars, okay? The three types that fall under pre-tax, meaning you get to keep all your money. The government doesn't touch it before your paycheck. It uses pre-tax dollars, a pure $100 like we talked about. Those three types of accounts: 401k, 403b, and a traditional or regular IRA. Then there's this really amazing one over here that uses after-tax dollars. Anybody with an earned income, if you have a job and you get a paycheck this year, you can open up a Roth IRA, okay? And the money grows tax-free. We love the Roth IRA. This is an amazing one. This is the one I would like you to open up as soon as you can, because tax-free growth, compound interest, that's going to be a powerful thing for you guys 30 years from now, okay? And let's just kind of leave it at that. We mentioned annuities, fixed and variable, fixed or hot garbage. This is another type of investment. This is like a stock, this is like a bond, this is like mutual funds and stuff like that. And there's fixed and variable. Fixed is hot garbage. Variable might have its place 10, 15, 20 years from now after you're maxing out your Roth, you're maxing out your 401k, and then I still have money to invest. Where do I go? Maybe an annuity, maybe real estate. Okay, that's farther down the line. This is it right here. This is what we should be focusing on, is getting that Roth up and running, okay? We're going to sharpen all these up tomorrow. That's enough for today. That's overload. I hope you have a great day. It's supposed to snow like 10 inches between tonight and tomorrow. Heck, okay? Hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, and I will see you guys tomorrow.